first point is why we need it. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but we're messed up. We have a problem as human beings. And that problem was an act of sin, of disobedience that took place a long time ago. So if you go all the way back to Genesis chapter 3, I believe, you're going to see the fall of man, right? And that phrase, fall of man, is just simply a way to say a loss of communion, a loss of relationship with the Father. And in the Garden of Eden, right, God creates Adam, and then he creates Eve. And from that, he gives them one command: do not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. One command. Satan comes along. Y'all can read all the details. I'm going to condense it a little bit to move quicker. But Satan comes along, and he deceives Eve into eating of the tree of knowledge, good and evil. He does not deceive Adam. Adam just disobeys. So when Adam disobeys, God comes to them, and they realize that they're naked. They actually feel for the first time shame and guilt because they had never done anything to bring that on themselves. So now that they experienced that for the first time. There we see the fall of man. Pretty simple. That is, in that moment when they ate of that tree, sin enters the world. The knowledge of good and evil. Beforehand, they didn't even have a knowledge of evil. They don't even know what that is because they never experienced it. Even if God tried to explain it to them, it would have just went right over their heads because they couldn't comprehend it. They lived in perfect communion with the Father. For how long? We don't know. But let's just say it was a certain period of time that they lived in perfect communion with the Father. And as soon as they ate of that tree, they took on an identity of being fallen. And sin enters the world, and not just acts of sin, but a nature of sin. It's not just that we now struggle with actions of disobedience. We now, because of that fall, struggle with a nature, which is a tendency, right? It's a proclivity, it's a strong or extreme pull, right? We have a nature in us that we're all born with to sin. And it all comes from that time, and it happened immediately, and God shows up in the garden. He kills an animal, he clothes them, which is a type of, with the animal skin, which is a type of what he would do with his son. So that is what we see from the very beginning. We receive the status of being fallen. So, contrary to popular belief, or maybe, what your parents or your teachers or your coaches or friends, family, whoever might have told you,